As an entrepreneur, your existence revolves around the people that you intend to serve. So I want to go through some steps and give some tips that I found to be very helpful with my business, and I want to share them with you guys because you guys are my family, and families share secrets. So the first step I want to talk about is building trust. When you're trying to sell to your customers, you want to build trust. Always aim for open-ended questions. Remember, sometimes it is more important to listen than to speak. And everyone, that's a life lesson. That's a real life lesson. Remember, sometimes it is more important to listen than to speak. Just like dating, which we all know about dating, just like dating, customer service starts with what your mother taught you. Make sure you always mind your manners. That's important. To really communicate with customers, talk the talk just like you do in real life. If you're talking about it, you better be living it. That's a fact. Do your research on your customers. Look at their social media accounts, their websites, and their blogs to get a bit of a background on them. That's important so you can cater the conversation to their likes, to their dislikes. And listening to people is the easiest way to make people appreciate you. It's relationship building. How many times do we talk to someone and we're like, they're just not listening to us? So listening is definitely the easiest way to make people appreciate you. I got some tips now to keep your customers engaged because that's something that I feel like, Lauren, we hear a lot. Like, how do I keep my customers engaged? How do I keep them wanting these products or excited about these products? So one, you never want to be desperate. You definitely don't want to be desperate. That is not an attractive quality to anyone. Number two, you don't want to be a digital stalker. It's kind of creepy, don't you think? I don't want to be a digital stalker. And three, you always want to be consistent. So when we talk about never be desperate, desperation tends to scare people away, and that's another life lesson, not just a Market America lesson. Desperation tends to scare people away. You never want to seem desperate. You want to seem secure. You want to seem confident. You want to seem like you know what you're talking about. And panic won't get you anywhere, definitely not anywhere positive. What you don't want to do is be a digital stalker, and this is something that I've seen a lot from some of us. We don't have to be ashamed, but we're just going to do better next time. Messaging people excessively is not going to make them customers or prospects. It's just going to make them annoyed and aggravated, and they'll probably block you and cut you off anyway. So you don't want that. Definitely harassing a prospect does not increase their interest in your service or product. And remember, the sales game is a service industry. You got to be consistent, and that's where I think sometimes we all have dropped the ball, is in being consistent. So we often complain that our customers are disappearing, but what you have to make sure is that you don't disappear to your customers, and this is very, very important. Consistent engagement is mainly about indirect interactions. Social media posts, make sure you @ people when you feel like it's relevant to their likes or their dislikes. You email them updates, and you occasionally text them just to say hi sometimes. Everything doesn't have to be buy this, do that. Just check in with a simple hello sometimes. And it's all about you, and this is something that JR talks about all the time. Walk your talk, wear your products. Like, how could you possibly be selling something to someone and you don't use it? To me, that's just common sense. Like, how can I be promoting Motives and how amazing it is, but I don't use any Motives products? That just seems completely backwards to me. So you have to walk your talk and wear your products. What language do you speak without saying a word? And it's funny because I just actually had this conversation with my 10-year-old son the other day. Body language is so important. Body language is one of the most overlooked and primal ways that we communicate with each other. Body language is huge. So here are some tips, because sometimes I think we do things and we don't even really understand or know that we're doing it. Make eye contact when you talk to people and uncross your arms. I literally feel like I'm talking to Cayenne right now because I was getting on him about all of this stuff. 55% is based on facial expressions and body language. That's very important. 37% on the tone of your voice. You definitely don't want to sound like you're screaming at someone or trying to force them to do anything. And 8% on words. Only 8% of the verbal messages people hear are the actual words that we use. And make sure you mind the 7 C's: confident, civil, concise, compassionate, clear, consistent, and credible. Those are the 7 C's, and those are definitely keys to making this a lot easier for you guys. Here's some social media tips. Obviously on social media, I have a huge following, so I think I know a little bit about what I'm talking about when it comes to social media, but even I found some of these facts to be surprising. For Facebook, I didn't know that the optimal posting days were Thursdays and Fridays. That's good to know. 70% of all internet users are on Facebook, and people always ask me, like, what are the good times to post on Facebook? So 9 a.m. through 7 p.m. specifically, 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. are the key times. You definitely want to make sure you're posting stuff when people are on Facebook. So I found this very helpful for me to know when exactly are the right times to post things. So specifically 1 p.m. and 3 p.m., but from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Facebook, people are extremely engaged. Now let's go to Instagram, which the optimal posting days are Monday through Friday, definitely a wider audience during the weekday than on the weekends. 23% of all internet users are on Instagram, and the posting times, optimal posting times, which I actually found surprising, 2 a.m. for all us late-nighters like myself. I was up at 2 a.m. last night, doing God knows what, probably posting an Instagram pic. 2 a.m., 5 p.m., and 10 p.m. are the optimal posting times on Instagram to really engage your audience. So that's definitely important to know. And Twitter, during the week, optimal, the weekends not so much. 23% of internet users are on Twitter, and the optimal posting times on Twitter are 12 a.m., 5 p.m., and 6 p.m. So definitely a bit later in the day, I'm assuming, when people are done with work and they're home on their computers using social media. So this is very helpful when it comes to the times to promote your products and stuff like that. So those are my tips for today, and I really hope that this helps you guys. I mean, sometimes it's the simple things that really make all of the difference, and I know some of these were just like, feels like common sense, but a lot of times in life, we don't use common sense, and it's the little things. We want to simplify this for you. We want to make it easy. So always remember, it's the little things that make the difference to people, and the little things that could take you from here to ultimately where you want to go. So I hope that this was helpful for you guys. I'm here hanging out. I've been in the Motives booth having an amazing time, and just here with you guys. And for me, it's amazing. It's the 25th anniversary, and I'm happy to be here. I think we all go through different periods, for me, where you just need to be re-energized just about life in general, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. So being here at this convention and feeling your energy and being here with my family is just giving me what I need to want to continue forward in my life, in my professional life, in Market America, in Motive. So we all have those moments. Don't feel bad if you're going through something or you have those moments. Just know one day at a time things get better, and that's why we have these conferences. It's just to re-energize ourselves and reset ourselves and focus on what's important. And I do realize this company and these products are very important to me and my life. So I love you guys, and thank you so much.